Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
The Rockingham School District Board meeting to order at 5:33 p.m. on February 3rd of a Pledge of Allegiance led by Ms. Wilkins. What happened?
I'm with the class.
You got it.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adjustments to the agenda. Review and approve board minutes for January 14th and 21st.
I did look at those. Oh, sorry, you don't even.
We didn't approve the ones on the 14th last time.
I'm not finding a copy of it.
That was our special meeting.
Anyone else need a copy of the agenda?
Oh, that's attached. Is it me or is all this be attached to the agenda?
It does not look like we approved the previous ones. We was focused on the budget. Motion to approve the minutes is written. Does anyone look at them? Have
So moved.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Yay, Kristen's here. Communication, public comments. See none. Policies. Do we have anything? Nope. Superintendent and central office staff reports.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to start off with showing everyone how to get to the board page. So if you log on to the new site, click on the little gavel, you'll see all the boards labeled off to the side here. Double click Rockingham, and down here it's by month. So just click on that. The agenda will come up. Right now that's the only thing in February. That will download it to a Word doc. And there
Chris,
is your agenda.
is it too much work to download as PDFs? Because sometimes when I'm looking at this, I'm not in a Google platform.
I can check into it, but
Okay.
this one automatically just downloads into Microsoft Word.
Chris, do we have access to put stuff in like we did before?
Yeah, you can talk. Ricky's been meeting with most of your admin assistants and everything, but if you want to be put into that, he can add you to show you how to do it. He showed me last week how to add stuff onto your webpage.
Well, not to the webpage, to the board folder.
Yeah, I think it still drags, I believe,
Is it?
from a Google. It
Does
puts
it?
it into this. But
Okay.
I would touch bases with Ricky, because he can
Okay.
just give you a cheat sheet in regards how to do it.
Yeah, as long as we have access, it's easy to do, but I don't think we have, we didn't have the, I don't think we have the permissions in this one like we did in the old one.
Right. Yeah, he can give you all the permissions that you need there. A little different than the other one, but we still try to drag it out from Google Docs. So Kristen, your question, if you click on this little right here, you can just hit it and download it as a PDF.
Great.
It's just
Thank
this
you.
right here. It's
Okay.
hidden, but if you click on it,
But that only gets you the agenda, right? Doesn't get you the,
The minutes,
the
Packet.
board packet.
right.
Right.
Okay.
will the minutes be on there as well?
Yeah, if the minutes, what they've been doing is usually if you go to view all, this is meeting minutes, this is for the board meeting minute for the SU board. So then you just, once you click on all, those will show up and those will be updated. And then once they're taken out there, they're put in an archive. I think we're currently working on, let me just go back to here for a second to see if we have it in there yet as in regards to the boards for a separate one, just for minutes. Yeah, so eventually, what you're gonna hopefully see is over here, we'll have a portion for minutes. But for right now, we're putting them under here. If you go to view all, the minutes will show up there.
So if I wanted to read the high school minutes, I'd be able to go to the view all and read the high school
Yep.
minutes?
I just want to show you what some of the schools look like. So if you go into middle school, all the wiring is pretty much the same wiring. I mean, the layout for all the different websites is similar. So you can navigate one, you'll be able to navigate all the websites. So this is the middle school. So all the sites have a similar look. Looks purple up here, but it's actually blue. It's just a projector.
It's supposed to be purple.
No, it's supposed to be
No,
blue.
blue. So you can see it's all pretty similar. A lot cleaner.
I love that you can choose a language.
You can choose a language for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can choose a language. It's ADA compliant.
And you probably can't get it to go back.
Which means when you put in photos, you need to put in like a closed caption.
Once again, it's purple, but it's actually blue on the web page. And we'll continue to develop the websites as we get more and more used to it. Pretty much stay within the wireframe, but there are some pages that are still not been populated. But for the most part, the important information is available. And I'll just show you one more thing. These are what the staff directories will look like once you, for all the schools. It's a lot cleaner. You have all the contact information there. And it'll look similar for all the schools. And so that is the website as it currently stands. Like I said, we're going to continue to build on it and populate the different areas for everything from reserve practices to all the smaller departments, so people can find what they're looking for. And the most important part, it needed to be ADA compliant, and we wanted to be user friendly. Down here, you still have on the SU website, you still have go to the superintendent's blog and the SU Facebook page, which we're trying to work with Fact TV to get the recordings put on the website so people can access them right from our website. Any questions on this part? That's it. Principals? Do you have anything you'd like to take us on?
Sure. Yeah. Who do you want to start?
Start with the newbie first.
Still? It's February. Okay, so our enrollment stands at 85. In January, we had a great opportunity. Chris had us all do a mini presentation to the entire Wyndham Northeast staff. Mid-year successes and accomplishments, and we put together a slideshow, which I am trying to figure out how to get up on our website, and have not done that yet, but would like to do that, and I'm happy to share it with you if you'd like. It's only 3 minutes. We don't have to do it now. We are doing a lot of data analysis given our winter benchmarks. And we had a great training that Missy organized, an update with Tim, and the focus was really on the growth reports and what all that meant and what to do with that new information. Since then, we have been having data chats with our students, given the math assessment and other assessments, to discuss areas of strength and need, and most importantly, to set goals with them. As we know, there's a direct correlation between engaging students in reflection and goal setting and an increase in student achievement. So taking time to talk with students about their learning and set goals does make a positive difference. We have also worked as a staff our last winter sports afternoon to make some adjustments to our schedule, which will begin after the February break, to include a win block, a what I need block. So each classroom will have a few days a week to start work, and we'll expand on this hopefully for next year, but where they provide skills, and so it's like all hands on deck. So I'll be taking some groups of students and just working with smaller groups of students using the data from math and other assessment to really target what kids need. Let's see what else. So super excited about that. The Vermont Symphony Orchestra will be visiting on February 28th with a woodwind group called Triple Treble. Kindergarten is hopefully going to the Latches on Friday to see Sandglass Theater Go Home Tiny Monster, which sounds great. And I know I went last year with my former school, and it was a wonderful production. It's always great to see a live artistry, so that'll be super special. And we've been working school safety, and we had Vermont State Trooper Bryson Lunderville come for our last required lockdown drill. So the state puts out a schedule of drills that you need to have in January, and he provided us with some great feedback, and so it's great to work with him. And then we will be meeting as a whole staff, and our school safety team will share with our whole staff on February 26th just things that we've been improving on in the school. You?
Any questions for Ms. Hassard?
Let's see, our enrollment is 163, our ADA is 95.6, which are both numbers pretty much consistent throughout the year. Just some highlights from the grades, what's going on. Kindergarten just completed their narrative writing unit in Lucy Calkins' program. First grade has been working with the math menu system, so a class consists of a mini lesson, a review, choices of practice journal pages, problem solvers, and time working in IXL. Second grade has begun their poetry unit, which is always a big hit, and also Wednesday is World Read Aloud Day, and they have guest readers coming into a lot of the classrooms. I know second grade is booked for much of their time, and I think I'm booked for third grade. Third grade is wrapping up their yearly biography studies, in which the students not only write a piece about someone historical or famous, they also produce a video project using a green screen and other production tools, and then that gets kind of put together into a big collection of biographies, which is always fun to watch. And then replay years later and embarrass these kids. Fourth grade, one class, very creatively, they are working with graphs and data, so they created some data sets and produced some graphs, and then came up with questions that could only be answered by interpreting the graphs, and they put the graphs up in the hallway and put their questions on cards for the younger kids, and the enticement was come and solve the problem and get a bag of M&Ms. So it was M&M's math. It's been a big hit, so a lot of traffic going up to the fourth grade. All grades are working on the 10 Red Clover books, and in April students will get to vote for their favorite. And we were obviously involved in the in-service with Tim and learning more about the math growth reports. But our afternoon at Central, we were divided into several different projects. So one group was planning Parents' Night activity. One group was beginning to outline and develop our framework for next year's leadership notebooks. One group investigated several phonics and phonemic awareness programs to possibly supplement our new reading program for next year. And some folks delved into the new Leader in Me website to unearth some resources for future lesson planning. So it was a busy and productive afternoon there. And that's where we're at.
Well, Wednesday night, this coming Wednesday night, we have our annual winter showcase night, which showcases student work at 5:30. The snow date for that is the following day on Thursday, but I think we're safe with the Wednesday weather right now. We also have coming up 2 activities next week. The first one is our mid-year reward for all of our students who have been infraction-free since the beginning of the school year, which is this year's 226 students qualified. They have a choice of going skating in the afternoon at Keen Ice Arena, sledding at the rec center, or watching a movie in the auditorium. And that's February 13th. And on the 14th, we will have our annual Winter Carnival, which is an all-school activity. I've been to Magic Mountain the past 2 Sundays for the Sunday ski program, which Magic picked up for us after Okemo decided they didn't want to have a Sunday ski program with us anymore, and Magic has done a really nice job of welcoming our students and just the atmosphere, etc. They reserve tables for us, a whole spot for us with signs, which makes it really nice. And just overall, speaking with some parents last week, the first week, were really pleased that coming up, they came up and welcomed them, and everything else. So that's been a very nice transition, I'm proud to say. Also, we had our map testing training the same day, but at a different time. We were with the high school on the 21st, and our students took the map testing on the 14th and the 15th. We're working on goal setting and reflection as well, and we're discussing tying them in with our student PLPs. This past weekend, we had 9 band members participate in the Vermont District 6, Winter Music Festival at Springfield High School. Our January enrollment was 259, and last year it was 246, so we're up 13 kids, which is roughly the number of kids in that bubble class. I keep watching that. And our ADA is just over 92% for January. Flu bug did hit us good in January, I want to say. Any questions?
Business manager, do we have anything from E and
I've gotten nothing from me in regards to tonight.
WNESU board? I don't know if there's, well, I guess there might be a lot to report from the board, but there's a lot going on right now with the, a lot of the stuff with the business office, and so there's been lots of special meetings. I think there's another one
There's another one this coming Wednesday at 7 o'clock at the high school.
this day after tomorrow.
Yes.
So come join us. We don't have anything from committees, I don't believe. Unfinished business for discussion or action. Board goals. So I believe we were on number 4, develop and propose budgets that achieve the greatest educational returns to dollars expended. Do we want to work on that this evening? Do we want to say we just finished our budget and we feel like we did that?
We certainly did that.
Seems that goes hand in hand with completing the budget, right? Meaning that's kind of the idea
Yeah.
behind the whole thing, so pretty self-explanatory.
Do we want to work on number 5, collaborate with all districts in the SU to benefit all students? I mean, that's one, to me, is another one that's kind of redundant. We do it at every SU meeting. So I'm going to say that we table any further discussion on board goals until the next meeting, and then we can, until after the reorganizational meeting, and then we can revisit, look at them all and start from scratch. At least Georgia, Priscilla, and I can. Because no one took any ballots out for the 2 open seats we have on the board. People at home watching this back TV, anywhere you may be. So we would love to support you as a write-in candidate or consider appointing you after the election is over. But George, Priscilla, and I are going to be quite lonely here.
I was trying to convince Karen here.
Kristen,
Sorry, Kristen, I do know the
we did that last time.
I
Like, I can't
Kristen,
run.
I do it every time, and I know it too. Sorry.
For those who don't know, Kristen, the reason she's on the board is because we coerced her into writing as a run-in candidate, and I stood outside the thing and said, please write in Kristen, please write in Kristen. She got enough votes to get in, and I thank her dearly for the work she has done. New business for discussion or action, town meeting preparation.
So usually during this meeting, you assign the different articles to be read by each board member and make copies of them, so if you guys want to take a look at them.
Look, they got a sign.
Sorry?
Looks like they got a sign.
So, pick one or two that you would like to read.
Do you start us out? Or do you want one of us to start out?
I have to talk way more than I want, so I don't really care which one I read, so.
I mean, Article 1's easy, so I'll start with Article 1.
I'll do another one too, but let somebody else choose first.
I'll do number 2.
You like to read these when, where?
At the town meeting, sit in front of the,
Monday night, the 2nd?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll take a couple, it doesn't matter.
we'll give Margot 4 for being sick.
Okay.
Halfway there, guys.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's right.
I'll take 3,
I was gonna say
give
do-
George 5.
And I'll do 6. I was gonna say, if you don't wanna do any, you could just give 4 of us.
That's okay.
George, which one are you doing?
He just got 5.
You got 5.
So I have Priscilla doing Article 1, Kristen doing Article 2, Rick doing Article 3, Margot Article 4, George Article 5, and Priscilla Article 6.
Sounds good. All set.
We don't need to vote on that, right? I don't think so either. Appointments, do we have any appointments?
I have none.
Director's comments. Kristen?
No, I don't have any.
Priscilla? I kind of already made mine. I just wish that there were more residents and citizens willing to sit up here with us.
I just found out a few weeks ago that you get paid to do it, so that's a factor. It was a nice surprise.
Agenda items for the next board meeting?
Rick, I have one. I am hoping to somehow learn how the equalized pupil is, how that's calculated. So hopefully I'll have an answer by then, but I think it would be good to discuss.
Yes, okay.
Per people.
Yeah.
Count.
So Kristen has reached out to, what's his name?
Brad James.
Brad James, asking him to give us his explanation of how it works. I'd like to have that too, because from the information that we have from our budget meetings that I wrote down and trying to kind of somewhat explain some of that to people at town meeting, possibly.
Yeah, I think it'd be helpful.
Particularly when it does not agree with our percentage increase when we look at the actual budget and look at how much it's increasing. Then we have to look at equalized
Right.
student, and it's not the same.
It's
So it'd be good to
understanding the
understand.
equalized pupil algorithms would be somewhat helpful, because it's one of those things that just doesn't make sense. So it says our next meeting is February 17th. Correct. We had been going with just the first one of the month. Let's have that one more, because that would be, otherwise that will be your last one.
That's right.
So we'll meet, and let's just do it here again. It's easy, it's convenient.
February 17th, here.
Yes.
You won't see us there. That's vacation week for, so I imagine.
Okay.
I imagine Karen skiing in the Alps or something.
Okay.
No,
Is that,
not
isn't that-
quite. Oh,
No?
Green Mountains, Alps, you know.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Also, is there anything
The Vermont
we have to
Alps.
do as far as preparation for town meeting? So she has
Well,
it on
if
there.
Kristen can get that information, then we should have another agenda item can be final prep for town meeting, so that we're prepared. That's something that I like to go as prepared as I can be when we have to sit in front of there and take questions from the general public. Okay. Well, unless anyone has any desire to try to dig something else up to work on, and we can have a record half-hour board meeting. Motion to adjourn? So done. Thank you.